Hello, Robin.
How are you?
It's a great honor to see you. Welcome.
Well, it is such a pleasure, and any chance to tell my Greek fans, my Greek readers, how much I appreciate them is a great honor for me. Thank you.
It's a great honor for us too, for all the Greeks. I think this is the first time that you talk to the Greek audience. So everyone here is tuned, and we really can't wait to listen to you. So just before we begin, I know that we have a certain amount of time. So I would like to just introduce you. Everybody knows you, but I would like to say some things about you, about Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma is a well-respected humanitarian, a top leadership expert, and an author of many best-selling books like The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, 5 a.m. Club, Mega Living, which is, I think, one of my best books, The Greatness Guide, and also here, the 5 a.m. Club. More than 15 million copies around the world, in more than 92 languages. So, Robin, here in Greece and the Greeks are really affiliated with you. And as I know, and as far as I've seen all these days, you really inspire people. So in order to start and not to lose more time, I've listened to you many times. I've listened to you saying that you do not get lucky, you make lucky. So what's your, what's the thinking behind that?
Well, the thinking behind it is human beings have incredible power. You look at the world right now, we're in a pandemic. There's incredible economic volatility. And it's very easy for us to give away our power. But human beings have agency. Human beings have great spirit. Human beings can create in difficult times. Some of the greatest inventions of humanity occurred during plagues, during difficult times. So I think we have a choice every day. We can be victims or we can be heroes. And the heroes are the people who say, wow, these are difficult times. How can I embrace it? And how can I do even better? So the victim says, oh, if I was lucky, then I would have better health, more money, more love. I think a wiser human being says, you don't get lucky, you create lucky. That's why I wrote the 5 a.m. Club, to teach people this morning routine while the rest of the world is asleep, that would make them more confident, more positive, more productive, more creative. Because I think a lot of people, we've given away our power.
Okay. Robin, here in 5 a.m. Club, which I had the honor to present last year, as I told you, and I remember that I dedicated many hours to present it under the best possible way. You mentioned that, and would you like to share with us why this first hour of the day, from 5 to 6, is the most important one, according to what you mentioned in the book?
Well, we live in a time of such noise. And there's digital distraction, there's massive addiction to technology, to social media. A lot of people wake up, there's so much email, notifications. 5 a.m. is the quietest time of the day. Learning to get up at 5 a.m., according to the research, it takes about 66 days before you can get up early, and it's easy. So 5 a.m. is the time, it's the quietest time of the day. The Spartan warriors, from Greece, the Spartan warriors, they used to say, sweat more in training and you'll bleed less in war. So as human beings, we want the rewards of world class, but many of us are not willing to fulfill the requirements of world class. By getting up at 5 a.m., by doing the routine I teach in the book, you will feel more positive, you will feel stronger, you'll have more energy, and you'll reconnect with the finest part of you. Then you walk out in the world and you're much more focused, you're much more positive. You're you're more clear on your priorities and your values. Too many people, what they do is they wake up late and then they chase the day.
Yeah.
And they wake up and they're very reactive versus strategic. So the 5 a.m. club method that I go through in the book, it will allow you to find peace, focus, strength, happiness, and meaning in a world where so many of us are faced with so much distraction and yeah.
Robin, what if I want to stay up till late and I'm not a morning guy, okay? 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., it's really tough for me. I'm not used to this lifestyle. And I'm you know, I want to stay up till late, let's say 1 o'clock after midnight, 2 o'clock after midnight. Why shouldn't I take that time instead of waking up early?
So why should you go to bed earlier?
Yes. Replace my morning ritual by staying up late and waking up again late.
Because I think there is magic at 5 a.m. And anyone who, I mean, we have millions of people, you know, in the 5 a.m. club, reading the book and doing the methodology. So it's so incredibly powerful how the 5 a.m. time. But I hear what you're saying is, you know, well, I'm a night owl, the same as getting up early. I'd say it isn't. In India, actually, in Ayurveda, there's a term called Brahma Muhurta. And it basically means the time of creation. And so the ancient Indian monks and sages, they understood the best time to meditate was between 3 and 6 a.m. The best time to pray was between 3 and 6 a.m. The best time to read from books that would make you a better person between 3 and 6 a.m. So what I believe is that 5 a.m. or those early morning hours before the sun comes up, that's when your mind is most open to being influenced. It's when reading will be more powerful. Your prayers will have a stronger effect. Your meditation will make you a better human being. So 5 a.m. is a beautiful time. It's also, I believe it's the stillest time of the day. And so it's the best time to just enjoy the peace. It's the best time to do creative work. It's the best time to be productive because it's just so still. And I'd also say, for anyone who says, well, I'm Greek, I want to go out with my friends, or with my family, and we like being out later. I want to have some great saganaki and some great food, and right? I'd say, oh, I love Greece, by the way. I've been to Santorini. I've been to Athens. I've watched the sunset in Oia. I hope to be in Greece a lot in 2021. But what I would say is, you don't have to, part of the key of getting up at 5 a.m., as I talk about in the book, there's a whole chapter on a strong pre-sleep routine. So the 5 a.m. club is not about sleep deprivation. But if you want to go out with your friends on Friday and Saturday night and do the 5 a.m. club on weekdays, it's totally fine.
So actually, all we have to do is keep it like a habit. Use a habit in our lives, even if we take, let's say, 1 day off or 2 days off, one or so, right? Even if that happens, right? Okay. And I will tell you something. I've learned about 5 a.m. club 4 years ago when my brother, Konstantinos, first introduced me to this, about the 5 a.m. club. And he told me about something that really successful people do, and they follow in their lives. So since then, and for the next about 2.5 years, I followed the 5 a.m. club approach, and it led me actually to create my startup, theSPEAKERS. So actually for me personally, Robin, it did change my life. Somewhere in the book, first of all, I would like to ask the following. It took you about 4 years to write the book. Is that correct?
Yes.
So why did that actually happen? Why did it take you 4 years to write the 5am Club?
Because my name is on the cover, and I don't want to put anything out in the world that doesn't represent the highest quality I can possibly produce. I think we live in a world where a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of business people, they spend 20% of their time on the product and on the work and 80% of the time on the marketing. And yet if you look at the masters, I'm not saying I'm a master, but you look at the great masters like Michelangelo spent 4 years on the fresco of the Sistine ceiling, the chapel, the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. So it took me 4 years because I wanted every line to be the best I could write. I wanted readers to feel how much I cared in my love. I wanted the models in the book to be perfect. I would not let it go until I felt it was the best I could do. And it took me 4 years, but you know, I think when you're doing any work, you have an opportunity. Before you release it into the world, you can make it a piece of magic. And it takes a lot of patience. And, you know, it was a very tiring process. And I suffered a lot.
I can imagine.
But it's worth it because, you know, seeing all the people reading the 5am Club, some people are reading it, they're getting fit again. Some people are starting ventures like you did. Some people are using it to, you know, do all sorts of things that they've always wanted to do because it's given them the power and the energy and the strength to do it.
And since we're talking about changes, because the 5am Club, actually it is a big change if someone tries to enter it. And I've heard you many, many times referring to changes with a beautiful quote, saying that all change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. So, and that habit in all this change, in all this new thing about adopting a new habit, there are 3 stages. So would you like to tell us some more about that?
Absolutely. So I think one of the seductions in our society is we want everything easy.
Okay.
And we forget that if you want a great life, you've got to do hard things.
Okay.
I think in many ways, lazy people have to work twice as hard. And so people often ask me, how do I get stronger? How can I be more heroic? How can I build self-discipline? You do difficult things. So the line in the book you mentioned, all change is hard at first, messy in the middle, beautiful at the end. Of course, getting up early is going to be hard at first. It's a new routine. So if something isn't hard at first, it's not really worth doing. It's not real change. And then after about 20 days, it's going to be messy getting up at 5 a.m. because you're letting go of your old ways of being. You're confused. You might be a little tired. Most people say there's something wrong. I better stop. No. Building a great life, building a great business, building a great relationship is a process. So it's hard at first. It's messy in the middle because you're becoming a new human being. The spiritualists, you know what they'll say? Human beings must experience a death before we can be reborn.
Whoa.
For us to become better people, the old person must die so the new person can emerge or be. So it's hard at first, it's messy in the middle, and then it's beautiful at the end. You know, according to the research of University College London, after 66 days, it's getting up early becomes easy. It actually becomes easier to get up early than not to get up early.
So do you follow this till now? Do you follow this morning routine, this morning ritual in your everyday life?
No, I sleep in now. When I was young, I got up early, but now I get up at noon. No, yes, I get up early. Sometimes I get up even at 4 o'clock. Whoa. But yes, I love getting up early. But on the weekends, sometimes I'll take a bit more rest now.
Okay.
Because I've exercised through the week. I've worked hard, so I'll sleep a little bit more. But you know, one of the keys is I work out with a trainer. And so she comes to my house very early in the morning.
So you don't have a choice.
So that's another way to build the 5 a.m. club habit. You have a friend or you have a trainer show up at your apartment or your house 3 times a week. You have to get up because you're accountable.
Robin, I would like more to understand. I've read your book 1,000 times, but we need to explain, right? So let's say that I start waking up at 5 a.m. And there in the book, you mentioned about 20, about this rule, 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. Would you like to tell us what is this all about? And what is the first thing that you suggest we should do in the morning? The first thing that we should do as soon as we wake up?
Absolutely. So I get into a lot of detail on the formula in the book, but for now, very high level. The 20-20-20 formula, the first 20, there's 3 pockets, 20 minutes each, between 5 and 6 a.m., which I call the victory hour.
Okay.
The first pocket, as you know from the book, is move. The second pocket is reflect. The third pocket
is grow.
Is grow. Okay, so what do? You get up at 5 o'clock, no news, no email, no social.
Nothing.
The whole idea is to remove toxicity from your morning.
Okay.
So the first, no news. Now, I don't know about you, but the news, it makes you feel bad. So the first pocket is move. What I suggest is you run on the spot. Nelson Mandela was in prison. He'd get up at 5 a.m. He'd run on the spot in his prison cell and he'd do push-ups. We don't have any excuses. So the first thing you do is you want to sweat. You want to run. You want to ride a bike. You want to exercise so you sweat because that's going to release BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is going to make your brain run better. When you sweat and move first thing in the morning, you're going to release dopamine, which is the inspirational neurotransmitter. You'll feel stronger. You'll release serotonin when you exercise in the morning, which is the pleasure transmitter. You'll just feel happier. And also I suggest in that first 20-minute pocket, you drink water, you hydrate, because that'll increase metabolic function. You'll have more energy.
Okay.
Now it's 5:20. Okay. Second pocket, which is reflect. How many people in our world take the time to think?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
How many of us take the time to reflect on our values? How do we want to live the day? So in that second pocket, you can reflect, you can write in a journal, you can write gratitude, you can write about your hopes, the man or woman you want to be, you can meditate, you can pray, you can do affirmations. Powerful. It reflects, reorders your mind, your spirit, your emotions. Now it's 5:40, the final pocket of the 20-20-20 formula, grow. When I mentor great athletes, when I mentor billionaires, when I mentor movement makers, they're all very curious and they understand education is inoculation against disruption. It's amazing. You read the right book, you can change your life. Listen to the right podcast, one idea, execute it on, can change your life. You know, my life, one of the most important things I did, I love to read. So 20 minutes, 5:40 to 6 o'clock, watch a podcast, read and study a book, listen to an audio book, but you spend 20 minutes in growth. Now it's 6 o'clock. You've optimized your mindset. You've increased your body. You've worked on your emotional life. You've served your spiritual life. If you do that even 5 times a week, just imagine the results you're going to get over time.
I've seen the results, to be honest with you. As I mentioned before, I've seen it happening in my life. And to be honest with you, by waking up early, I felt much more confident within my day. And I felt like I was planning ahead, or I was ahead. So this helped me throughout the day, and also kept, as soon as I started exercising, kept my energy levels high. Robin, another question is, I've read the Mega Living, and I would like to ask the following. I've seen that also in Mega Living, you mentioned about waking up early. So this is something that you had in your mind many, many years ago, right? So what exactly, is there a certain motivation factor that led you to create the 5 a.m. club? Is there something, an incident that happened, something that you had in your mind? I don't know, an inspiration from another person in your life? How did the 5 a.m. club occurred?
I was in my 20s. I was a lawyer, and I was very unhappy as a lawyer. I felt I betrayed myself, because I'd get up in the morning. I wasn't living by the way I wanted. I'm more of a creative person. And I was in this very good law job. I was making excellent money. I had a beautiful car, beautiful place to stay, but I felt very discouraged, very unhappy, not a lot of spirit. And so I started studying the lives of the most successful people, but not only successful in the world. I know the Greeks are philosophers.
Exactly.
It's not only success. I think this world has made success more than it is. I think we should be philosophers. And if you look at real philosophy, they're not saying we should be successful. The real philosophers are saying we should find peace and honor within ourselves. And so I decided to go on a search as a lawyer. And I started to study people who were successful, but also happy, and who were living simple lives, and who were kind, and people who were serving other people. And one thing I noticed is the majority of the successful and happy people, they rose before the sun, and they had some form of a practice. Maybe it was exercising, maybe it was prayer, maybe it was writing in a journal. Maybe it was gardening. Maybe it was auto-suggestion and affirmations. But most of them had some kind of a practice hour to prepare them for the day ahead. And so I started getting up at 5 a.m. And like you said, I wrote about it in Mega Living. I wrote about it in The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. So I've been talking about the 5 a.m. club and morning routine for almost 25 years. And I started using it in my own life. And it was just so powerful what it did for me. And then I started teaching it.
Okay, that's great. And you said, we all know, but you said that you were a lawyer and you weren't satisfied with that. So there you did a change, right? And I suppose that there are many, many people here that would like to change their lives, would like to take this leap of faith, right? And change, but some of us are afraid. Some of us do not believe as much in ourselves. You did the change. And also through your books, you lead us to a better life. And actually you push us to take some decisions. Is there something certain that you would like to share here with us about changing, about taking the decision?
I would say, I would say this. I would say life is really short. Look at the time we're in right now. Look at all the people dying. Look at all the people who are sick. So what this time has done for us is it's shown us how fragile life is. It's shown us that the world can fall apart in a week.
You're right.
So do we really, Apostolos, do we really want to spend the rest of our days living a life that is not our lives? Do we really want to spend the rest of our days living a life that the media says we should live, that our family says we should live? Do we really want to spend our lives living in a way designed to look good on social media so our friends think we're cool? Or will we have the wisdom and heroism to say, I want to start getting up at 5 a.m. and I want to start a business, and I want to start being kinder to people, and I want to start being more productive, and I want to spend less time playing with my phone, and I want to be more creative because I'm starting to realize that life is short. So I would say to anyone who's resisting change, do you really want to get to the end of your life and say, I didn't live? And I'd also say that when we are living our truth, our values, and we're in pursuit of our dreams, we make the world a better place. We're happier people. There's a sparkle in our eyes. We leave people better than we found them. So doing your life, making the changes we need to make, whether it's finding love or health or work that fulfills us or peace, it's not only good for ourselves, it's good for the world because we become more positive, inspirational, heroic human beings.
That was quite touching, and I just couldn't take my eyes off you while you were talking about this and about the certain time that we have that is really, really important to have it in our minds. One of the books that changed my life again was one of your books. It was The Leader That Had No Title. And there you mentioned very, very wisely about the importance of taking into account the time that we have in this life, because most of us think that things will not change or the time will always be there. We don't understand many times in our lives that the time that we have is really, really limited, and that the decisions we make actually, they take amount of the remaining time. So you talked about success, and you have beautifully and inspiring mentioned again in your books that nothing feels like success. And it's something that, I don't know, some of us would like to understand it better or have it in their minds when the success comes into their lives.
I think it's, the way I'd say it is this. Power is a very dangerous thing. When a human being, so in ancient Rome, there was a type of slave called the origa. And that slave's job was to stand behind the Roman emperor and whisper in his ear, memento homo, memento homo, memento homo. Remember, you're only a man. And what I'm suggesting is, so much of the 5 a.m. Club book is about becoming successful, becoming more productive, becoming stronger. But then once we're successful, it becomes a very vulnerable situation. Because when we are successful, it's easy to stop doing the things that made us successful. You're a business person. The more successful we become, the more the power of success can cause us to become arrogant. Humility is what makes success. Humble. We learn. We serve. We get up early. We keep on innovating. That's a humble person. But too many of us as people, once we get to success, it's a natural thing. We become arrogant. we take our customers for granted. We lose that fire to become better. And so I believe that nothing fails like success. I think that's why you see so few legends. There are many, some people get to the top, world class, but how many people stay at world class? It's easy to be a one-hit wonder, to have one big movie, one successful book, or your business is successful for a quarter or a year. How many businesses or people stay at world class for 10, 20, 30 years? That's what legendary is. But it's hard because success makes us become unsuccessful.
Let's keep that success can make us become unsuccessful. Let's keep that. And I think that I would, in a normal situation, we and I personally would need days to just talk with you in order to talk about everything we have in our minds. But still, we have talked about many beautiful things till now. But as the time passes, I would like to ask you 3 questions that the Greek people, the Greek audience, sent us throughout the previous days. Okay.
I'd love to answer them.
Okay.
And if I may, I can't wait to visit Greece, hopefully in 2021, because I've never done a live event there or a keynote. And I can't wait to come to Greece and to meet everyone who's reading the 5 a.m. Club and to eat the amazing Greek food. And I want to visit Santorini again. I want to spend more time in Athens. My friends are telling me I should also visit Naxos.
For sure.
And I really want to spend more time in Greece because I truly, I think it's such a beautiful country and it's so rich in culture, you know?
Robin, the Greek people really love you. We have seen all these days when we first announced that we will hold this Instagram live. I wish I could show you in a way what happened today in the social media that we have here in Greece. And people would love to see you in person. And let's hope that you will make it and see you here in Athens or anywhere you come here in Greece so we can do something together with you. That would be great. So the first question from Dimitris. Dimitris asks, Robin, how do you handle your bad days?
Well, the 5 a.m. Club morning routine is the best way because you're restructuring your brain, your mindset, you're practicing gratitude, meditating, you're doing all of these techniques that make you feel much stronger in the day. Part of the 5 a.m. Club method is exercise. I don't know about you, but on the days that I exercise, when something difficult happens, it's not as big. I'm so much stronger. And on the days that I don't exercise, it bothers me more. So number one, the morning routine is very powerful. Number two, the 5 a.m. Club book also has other routines to do in the day. And
many routines, that's true.
And the other one is the second wind workout, which is you do a second workout after work. And I usually go to nature. So even if I've had a difficult day, well, I love being in the forest. And that makes me feel much more peaceful. Also, I use suffering to my advantage. So let's say something difficult happens to me. Yeah. I do my best not to see it as a problem or something bad.
Beautiful.
I try to say, how can I use this event to make me stronger, wiser, and more loving? I believe philosophically, life sends us people and events not to hurt us, but to heal us.
Okay.
And as you start to see life like that, the good times are rewards. The bad times are growth opportunities.
Beautiful.
Even the things, the people that break our hearts.
Yeah.
Those are the people who help us open our hearts.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Great. Question number 2 from Dionysus. Dionysus would like to learn, what is your favorite book, Robin?
I love The Prophet by Khalil Gibran.
Okay.
I love a book about Mandela called The Mandela Way. I love a children's book that's called The Giving Tree.
The Giving Tree.
The Giving Tree. The first time I read it to my kids, I cried. It was so beautiful. Yeah, those would be some of my favorite books.
Okay, that's great. And Nicoletta asks the third and last question. Then I have a surprise for you. And then I have one last question. Okay, and then we can close this beautiful discussion, Robin. The third question is from Nicoletta. She says, what is the best advice that someone ever gave to you, Robin?
I would say run your own race. I'd say a few things, but I'd say someone once said to me, run your own race, which is don't focus on competition. Don't focus on other people's lives. Just be true to you and run your own race. I'd say, secondly, one of my mentors talked about kindness. You know, it's very easy for us to become greedy or selfish. And yet I think on our deathbeds, we will feel happy if we were kind. And then I think the third piece of advice is your outer life reflects your inner life. And so if you want more money, if you want more fame, if you want a more beautiful life, and if you want more service, make yourself a bigger person. Make yourself more loving. Make yourself more committed to helping people. You know, every world class is an inside job.
Let's keep that also. You have said magnificent things as you do every time. World class. Okay, great. One fourth question that I've just picked up from the comments from Chrysanthi. Chrysanthi says, Robin, and then I have this surprise for you, okay? So Chrysanthi says, Robin, how do you stay so humble after all this great success?
You know, I don't feel successful.
Whoa.
I think part of me does, but I'm no one special. I don't feel special. I don't think I'm special. I want to serve people. I want to do better work. I truly love my readers. I want to help them. I was in Nelson Mandela's prison cell a few years ago, and the guide said he knew Nelson Mandela, and I said, of course, as anyone would say, what was he like? And the guide said, oh, he was a humble servant. So I want to be a humble servant, you know. And I'd also say I work on it. I pray, I meditate, I write in a journal, I pray for humility, because if I stop learning and I stop trying to get better, and if I stop serving, then it's the end of all of this.
In such a few time today, we have been faced with great life lessons through your words, humble servant. I couldn't imagine of a most inspiring answer. Right now, I can tell you that from 42 minutes ago that our live started, I can now tell you that I'm already a better person. Robin, I have this. Yeah, please. I have this surprise for you. I have someone here that knows you and would like to say a few words with you. And then I'm closing with one last question. Okay? Great.
Sure.
Okay. So, Stefane, please.
Hello,
Robin, my friend.
I knew it. Stefanos, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Great to see you. Great to listen to everything that you have to say. How is Colby and Bianca?
Everyone is doing great, and I look forward to going for a run on the beach in Greece sometime.
I still wait for this promise to be fulfilled. What about your parents? Are they okay?
Everyone is great. Thank you for asking.
Please give them my biggest hugs and, you know, all these things together. What about Kelsey and Angela and your dream team?
Everyone's great.
Robin, I would like to thank you in public for what you have done, not only for me, but for millions of people that we have been following and reading your books all these years, these 20, 25 years. Personally, you have impacted me like you know how much, like millions of people. Personally, I could have never been the writer that I am, the speaker that I am, but most important, the father and the human being that I am. And I speak for most of us. And the most important thing is that you are giving all these frameworks, all this deconstruction, all this world class terminology, but you're giving it with love. And you really care about us. And I cannot forget the last day of the last Titan, 2019 in Toronto, that you took at least 5 minutes in order to thank all the waiters and the waitresses and the cleaning ladies. You are a man of values, and this is very, very, very important for us. So I would like to thank you for millions of people, but I have a privilege to get to know you like some other people who get to know you. So thank you so much, my friend.
It's extremely generous and extremely kind, and I thank you for that. And, you know, you're representing the Greek culture so well. You know, such graciousness and such kindness. So I just say thank you.
I will just give you to Apostolos, who's doing a great job. He's a world-class leader. He's creating these speakers, whom this organization is trying to influence and help all of us communicate, speak, and communicate better. No matter if we do public speaking, or if we order souvlaki, or if we talk to our kids. So I'll give you back to Apostolos. It's great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Stefanos, I hope to see you soon.
Definitely.
I don't know. It's so inspiring tonight that, yes, Robin, an amazing speech and amazing words by Stefanos. One last question from my side. You've become one of the most widely read authors alive today. How would you like to be remembered?
Well, you know, I'm working on a new book through the pandemic. So this is month number 11, and I'm almost finished the book. And there's a chapter answering your question. And what I'll say is, I used to care about how I'd be remembered. I even wrote a book about 22 years ago called Who Will Cry When You Die? Who Will Cry When You Die? All about legacy. Now, Apostolos,
yeah,
I don't think it matters. I would say to you, with great respect, I don't care how I'm remembered. It doesn't matter. I will be dust in a glass, or I will be 6 feet in the ground. Why, for me to be concerned with how I'll be remembered is ego. I just want to serve and live wonderfully while I'm alive. Look at all the great kings and queens of history who thought they were so important. We don't even remember them. So I think legacy and worrying about how we'll be remembered, it doesn't matter. Be great, yes. Be excellent, be loving while we are fortunate enough to be alive.
Be great, be excellent, be loving while we are alive. Robin Sharma, even if I'm supposed to be a speaker, right now I cannot find the words to express my feelings for this life, for the time that we take in this wonderful, inspiring discussion. I would like to personally thank you for accepting my invitation. Since last March, you kept your word, and here in December, we had the time to discuss with you, to have this wonderful live and share your beautiful, your unique ideas, your way of seeing things with so many people here in Greece. As I see in the comments, everyone says that we are expecting from you, come to Greece, come to Athens or to any other city. We would like to see you in person. We would like to listen to you. So you are more than welcome. And before we close this beautiful live, is there anything that you would like to share with the Greek people from your side, from beautiful Toronto?
I would just love to offer a very sincere thank you for all of my readers in Greece, for the incredible support of the 5 a.m. Club. I know a movement has started in Greece of early risers who get up before the sun. And, you know, you've all been so incredibly supportive of the book. And I can't wait to be in Athens and visit Greece in 2021.
Robin, thank you so much. It was an honor. It was great. I will keep remembering this day. And till the next time that I see you, either through social media or in person, I would like to thank you for everything you do for us. As Stefano said before, you are a person, you are a life changer for us. And we have here our books with us. And I can tell that since 5 a.m. Club changed my life, in a small amount of time, I suppose that it can change everyone's life. It was a great pleasure, Robin. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time and the invitation.
Thank you.